Forest, and today we're going to have a look at some meditation techniques. Now this program is a little different from the other episodes which we do mainly with the children, and this episode not specifically for you mum. This can be used by anybody who wants to take themselves into a deeper state of relaxation, and you can use this in conjunction with your yoga practice, or you can take it on its own. Now meditation is quite an important part of yoga if you're going to practice true yoga, because the asanas or the yoga poses that we practice are not just the only part of yoga. They're just a way of getting the mind into a calmer state. So although you are working the body, yoga is what we call moving into stillness. So you take the poses, you become more flexible and stronger, but at the same time, because you're concentrating so much on the body and the specific techniques and alignment, it's actually not allowing those daily thoughts and any worries or any stresses you might have enter your head. So a lot of the time at the end of your yoga practice, when you're feeling nice and relaxed, it's not just because you've stretched the body and you've worked everything out, it's because you've really cleared the mind and allowed the mind to rest and have more of a state of peace about it. So meditation techniques you can take at the end of your practice, or as I say, you can take them on your own. So if you find you have 10 minutes and you want a bit more relaxation, find a quiet place. That may be a place in your home, a corner of your home, and maybe you set aside a place just for meditation that's nice and quiet. Maybe you have a little candle somewhere, I don't know. If you're a new mum, of course, that's very difficult to find time and space to meditate, so we would advise that you take that while your baby is sleeping, or maybe last thing in the evening as well. It will help you sleep more peacefully. That's if you're not still up 4 or 5 times a night like I was with mine too when they were very young. So basically this program is not for you to take along with me. It's for me to give you suggestions of meditation techniques that you can then take and use either with your practice or on their own. So there are many different ways that you can get into a relaxation position, and there's no correct way. You choose what's comfortable. So you can sit cross-legged. If you sit cross-legged, be aware of crossing the legs the other way sometimes, so that you're working the hips equally. You can sit with the legs across. This is a better position for opening the hips. The legs aren't crossed up, so one leg is coming in, the other comes in front. And again, you can alternate that between the legs. Pull the tummy in a little bit, as much as possible. I've always had a little tummy here, and I've learned to love it. So my tummy goes in, but it doesn't go flat. And the back is fairly straight, and the shoulders are relaxed. Now you can have the hands just rested, or some people like to put the index and the thumb together, or the middle finger and the thumb, and have them facing up. Okay, you can, if you want, just rest the hands down here in the middle. If that's not comfortable, you can come up on the knees and sit on the knees and do that here. Okay. Or of course, you can take this lying down, either with the knees bent, hands on the tummy, and the hands on the tummy is just going to allow the shoulders to come down to the floor a little bit. In fact, I'll take this one here, and the knees bent. Or you can be in Savasana with the legs straight, feet relaxing out to the side, palms facing up. So the first technique to get you into a state of meditation is backwards counting. And that's exactly as it sounds. So we just breathe in through the nose. We pick a high number, something like 40 or 50. And then we breathe out. And then we breathe in, we mentally think the next number down. So if I started at 50, now I'm thinking 49. And I'm breathing out. Then I'm breathing in. And I'm thinking 48. And I'm breathing out. Okay. And the reason that we do this backwards counting is that we all have so many thoughts crowding our minds and our heads of, things that we have to do. As human beings, we're always thinking about things we have to do in the future, like, oh, I need to do the washing, I need to go shopping, I need to get this for the kids, I need to do that, oh, I've got this deadline at work. But we often forget about where we are in the present. So these techniques are really going to help clear your mind of all those things. Let's get rid of them just for 15 minutes and have a bit of quiet up there. And by using the counting, it's not allowing those thoughts to come in. If you are living a very fast life and you do have so much going on that you find this very difficult, I would advise you begin by breathing in on a number and breathing out on a number, and that's really going to make you focus on the breathing. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you forget what number you're at, just pick something else and start again. That's not the point. The point is just slowing the breathing down, being aware of the breath, and just clearing the mind a little of anything else that might be going on. This is a very good technique to get you to sleep. In fact, if you do this lying down for a little time, chances are you will fall asleep. So if you don't want to fall asleep, you can take this one sitting up. Okay, so now we've used that, you should now be in a nice relaxed state. The breathing will be deeper. Then you can start thinking about a more advanced meditation. I find meditations are always best when they're focused on yourself and things that you enjoy, your life and your imagination. So when it's based in your world, then you're going to get a lot more from it. So guided meditations are very good as long as you can relate to them. But I find that I prefer to meditate without guidance, so I don't need a CD or somebody telling me how to do it or where I need to go. I just start with a suggestion and I take myself where I want to go with it. One meditation that I like very much is one called Who Am I? And basically all you do, once your breathing is nice and quiet and your body is nice and still and relaxed, you start to ask yourself, who am I? And the important thing to remember is that there's no right answer to this question. So you're just allowing the thoughts to come into your head, let them go, and then think of the next thing that comes into your head. If you get distracted and you find that your mind is wandering and you're thinking about other things again, bring it back to that question, who am I? Just think about it. I'm not even going to give you any suggestions of what might come into your head. It just allows you to just stop and take a moment to think about it, because we're always so busy that we often forget and our life just passes us by. So really important that we bring it back to the present and we can just think, who am I? Where am I in my life? What makes me happy? What makes me who I am? Is it the other people around me? Well, no, I'm not giving you the suggestions. You think about it in your meditation, in your moment of quiet. And if you get any negative thoughts, some people have bad days sometimes, bad moments, just let those thoughts go. Just be aware of them and say, right, well, I'm aware of that. I'm just going to put that out of my head for a moment and I'm going to focus back on who am I. And if you really can't get past that without thinking negatively, then you could also lead this to, who would I like to be? So don't go crazy with it, base it in reality. Think about who you are and who you would like to be. And there's another way round, a further step, which I will tell you now because I've sort of I've diversified a little bit, that's how it goes sometimes. If you have this difference between who you are and who you would like to be, there is a beautiful meditation where you look in a mirror. So you visualize looking in a mirror, so there is you and then there is the you that you would like to be. And when you sort of studied the you that you would like to be, all you do is mentally step inside that mirror and join with that person, and then both of you step out of the mirror again and you just think about putting those things into practice, how you can improve your life. Don't be too over-ambitious, value yourself for who you are, but maybe there are a few things that you would like to think about improving or changing, just changing direction a little. And again, these moments of meditation will help you be aware of that rather than just rushing through life and realizing that 5 years down the line you might actually come up with an answer to something that might have a really positive effect on your life now. Okay, so that's one example, and that's quite a deep and meaningful one, really. If you don't want to go that deep and meaningful, if you just want to find that peace of mind, peace and quiet, then I'll give you a lovely simple visualization to finish with today. If you like these meditations, maybe I can do some more of them later on. Okay, so this one is you're in your nice relaxation state, you've done your backwards counting, your breathing is nice and slow and nice and deep. And now you're just going to visualize walking. So walking, I find, is a very peaceful thing. So you can be walking along a beach, or you can be walking along a beautiful mountainside, and you just hear the sounds of nature. So if you're by the beach, you hear the sounds of the sea. If you're walking out in the landscape, you hear the rustle of the trees, hear the sounds of bird songs, all the sounds of nature around you. You put yourself in a warm environment, so it's sunny but it's not too hot. You can feel the warmth of the sun on your face and on your body. You can maybe feel a warm breeze brushing past you as you walk, and it's beautiful and it's peaceful and you feel relaxed. And after you've walked for a little while, you maybe find a spot that you feel like you want to lie down and have a rest. So you lie down, feel the soft earth, be it sand or grass beneath you. You sort of sink down into the earth. You feel the sun on your face. You feel happy and you feel at peace. You bring it back to the sound of the breath. And then you can just lie there. Let the mind be still. And again, if thoughts come, just let them come, accept them, and then let them go again. And just focus on the breathing. And before you finish your meditation, sometimes really nice just to think about something that makes you smile, something that makes you happy. So it might be a memory that you have, it might be somebody in your life you have that makes you happy, it might be something that you've just done yesterday that made you really happy. Just think of that thing, and that will automatically bring a glow to you and put a smile on your face. And then you can slowly, when you finish your meditation time, start to move the fingers and the toes just to bring a bit of movement back to the body. Maybe bend the arms, maybe start to move the shoulders, maybe take a big stretch, maybe take a big yawn. And if you're lying down, you just slowly bring yourself back up to sitting. And if you're sitting, you just slowly open your eyes, move around a little bit, and you're finished. One little tip though with meditation, and I always say this if I take a meditation at the end of my class, because you go a little deeper into a state of relaxation, it may make your reactions a little bit slower for the next 5 or 10 minutes. So I always advise my students not to jump straight into the car and drive home, but just to take a few minutes to come back up to speed before they carry on with their normal life, which is usually really busy. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that. So next week we'll be back to a bit more chaos with some kids running around. Well, you know the drill. We'll see you next time on Yoga Baby. Till now, have a really peaceful day. See you soon. Bye-bye.